Happy birthday. It's Goodna Rugby League birthday.
Oh, goodness birthday. That's what it is. It is a birthday cake. You want to sing happy birthday yourselves?
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rugby. Happy birthday to you.
Let me cheers for Jess. Hip, hip.
Hooray!
Hip,
Hooray!
hip.
Hooray!
And all the ladies who are on the good thing. Thank you very much, ladies. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget the memorabilia. You may still find somebody there. We do wish to get rid of the books. Joy, do you want to call tables to go for?
We sit in the patch bale on grass just along the end of the fence. And we'd have a bit of that telephone wire on it that you couldn't see anyway. Next minute the old yellow lights had come along, and mainly them old canvas roofed houses, cars. And you're coming along and they sort of focus on the lights in the car and pull up and it just pull up with these lights on it, and Mrs. Kids were on the other side, you know. Anyhow, the old man had backed the car back a bit and he'd hop out of the car and he'd come out and just as he's about to pick it up, we'd pull it, and the noise it made on the road, oh Jesus, it frightened anyone, you know. A lot of them used to chase us and we'd run over and run down the bank and all this sort of stuff. But the prince of them all is there just used to be out here, very close to here, there was an old truck dumped there. There was an old Chev, one of the first old Chevs ever, big old flat bottom back on this truck. It had the old hard rubber wheels, and a vacuum tank used to run down, no petrol pumps in 10 days. So anyway, it just got dumped there. It wouldn't go, so they dumped it there. So I had a big 1200 Indian motorbike with a big box on the side that we used to deliver the meat in there. Well, they got 15 I suppose these days. Ride this bloody thing around. And so Joey Richardson and Reggie O'Day, Jeff Bauer, and Chips Robertson, we'd all come over here at night. So we had this bloody big box. And then on Sunday night again, and we put the motorbike around this side of the truck. And then we'd get they were just doing some road work, and we'd get up one of those old lanterns, you know, and someone would go up the road here, you know, the car would be coming along and he'd be going us down. So we'd have one of those pumps, water pumps that you pump with your stirrup pumps, right? So we'd put the stirrup pump in the water. We'd stand in there and I'd get up on the back of the truck, right? And then put the hose between my legs and then wave the car down. And then all that down, we say, be careful as you go past that truck. And then of course, as they come past that car, pump down, and pump like that. They really did chase us nowadays. Because these are all the things. Then, where the Ampol service station is now that went underwater, that used to be a hill. And Valley Rush had his cows there and his dairy, so on the way home we needed something to do. We'd go and head over all these cows locked up to milk early on the Monday morning to do the milk run, so we'd go over and ride the cows all night. And Valley couldn't get any milk out of the cows Monday morning. It was great times. A lot of, in those days too, there was a big fence right around the asylum. And all the loonies were inside those days, I can tell you. They let the slip rails down and I was out, I can tell you. Anyway, in those days, you might remember all the patients. There were a lot of patients used to get in there and get cured and, you know, they had nowhere to go when they came out, so they just left them in there. And these guys used to mow the Gales golf course and all that sort of stuff with horses and big mowers and all. It was all just, the Gales golf course was probably the best manicured golf course you've ever seen in your life in those days. But then the do-gooders come along and said that they were getting free labour for it and stopped them doing it. You know, and all they were doing was doing the good right thing by looking after the people who were looking after the golf course. It started in 1999 or anything like that. It started a long way back, I can tell you. As a matter of fact, when Goodna played Brothers in Ipswich, the main game would be up on number 1 at North Ipswich Oval, and Goodna playing brothers 3 grades down on the bottom, and there was no one watching the game. The main game up on the front. Number 1, they're all there watching Goodna down the bottom. Gary, we were playing brothers number 3 oval one day. All the brother supporters used to be over on that side, all the Goodna supporters are over there. And there's the days with Billy Botel with his hoo-ah, 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 we're going to come I'm sure we'll hear more of that tonight. So anyway, Gary's playing this day, and of course we had a station master here called Vince Smith. Vince was about 6'9" and built like a big bean pole. He had 2 elbows in each arm, I reckon. You know, he used to throw these big elbows out. So we're playing this day, and there's war. It was on. There was brawls everywhere, and the spectators were fighting. Anyway, that all settles down. The game takes off again, and Gary makes a break and runs straight down. He's coming down the sideline, looking real good too. He liked to get over things. He's going for his life along the sideline. Old Vince Smith standing there went. Hit him with a coat hanger. Flat, Gary. Vince wasn't playing, he was the station master. Jeez, some of the things that happened. Watermelons. And I remember my old man used to be pretty good at castrating cats and that, you know. Anyway, anyone with their cat nicked, they'd bring it to old Michael Patrick, you know. So Ma Scott used to own the Royal Mail Hotel, and she said, they're always down there hanging after the old man trying to get him out of it. This day she's chucking him out, and he said, and Michael, I want you to castrate my 2 cats. And he said, oh yeah, give us them. So he goes, she's got the 2 cats in a bag, in a sugar bag, and he cuts the corner of them and pulls their tail out, flicks their balls out, you know, it's all over Mother's show. Bit of Stockholm tar. Gives them back to cats. There used to be a truck go through here with the Brisbane papers on, going to Toowoomba. Yeah, I think 2 or 3 times a day. He used to fly through Goodna Rugby. Anyway, this night about 10 o'clock, there's the 2 dead cats are sitting right outside Mrs. Scott. She just had their balls cut out. The bloke run over them 2 days later. And all the Yanks were here in Goodna, and our blokes didn't like them. And they used to, Gary Larry's old man and my old man and Stumpy Davis, I can remember them. All the Yanks used to come down and drink at the Royal Mail, and there used to be a dance hall over at the asylum, and a big dance hall there, and all our blokes were dirty on them because they used to dance with the nurses, and that wasn't good. So one night they got up on the first deck where the camphor laurel tree was still there, out the front. All the Yanks come out and they pulled one of the big trucks out the front. And all these bastards jumped over the top and into them before they got into the pub. You know? So the war wasn't anywhere else but here, I can tell you. It was Aussie and Australia fighting the Yanks down at the Royal Mail Hotel in Sydney. What a wonderful place. I tell you, mate, we used to go over to Cinnamons over here, pitch Tommy Farrell had a boat down near the old bridge before it fell down. We go and pitch it at night time and row the bastard right over the other side and fill it up with the watermelons and all that. But come halfway back, you wouldn't want to know. Ask how red goes the boat, there'd be watermelons. Then we had to lug them up the thing, but we graduated to my motorbike after that. We used to go over to Stan Josie's and a few other places. My Uncle Billy, he had about 5 or 10 acres of corn just here. You might remember the old corn sheller, some of you blokes, the bloody thing you had to wind it up. So you'd sell anything today in those days, get a few bucks, you know, and we would go down at night time and raid Uncle Billy's corn when it got ripe. And things weren't any good with the Kellys and the Stanleys for a long time, and he found out it was his nephews that were pitching his corn. And I appreciate the place, you know, and I don't know how well it's going now with a lot of people here. I reckon there wouldn't have been, I reckon it'd be lucky to be 1,000 people. But Billy and all his family and the old mayor here, Johnny Nugent, we're all pretty old stages with it, and I'm sure we could all sit down and talk together all night and just bring up stuff that's happened. Billy could tell you a few better stories than mine. And of course we were pretty lucky at the end. They'd both played rep footy before, but the first year I went up in the second year I went to Ipswich, we made the Ipswich side, and the Ipswich side won the Bulimba Cup for the first time for years, and then that Ipswich front row went in to be the Queensland front row, and then that Queensland front row went in to be the Australian front row, and that following the same year we all went to England on that, so we went from win the Bulimba Cup at the beginning of the year to going over and playing on the 1959 Kangaroos. That tour, I'll just tell you, give it a go. Am I driving you nuts yet? No. 1959, because I hadn't travelled much, you know. I think I'd been to Sydney a few times, a couple of state games and stuff like that, and that just knocked around really. So anyway, of course, when we went to England, it was a whole new dice for me, and neither Doug or Gary had been there before. So we, well, you know, pretty chuffed to get there to start with, but just compare a few things today with those days. It took us 52 flying hours to get there, right? There was only the flying hours. So it's a long time in the air, but well, they filled the plane up full of grog and stuff, and it said there, we drank it dry by the time I got to Darwin. It all came from here, playing with the Barry Rismans and all the good guys, you know, and of course it was all hard work. I just do refer to anyone, you know, wants to talk to their kids about what they should do, and that the answer to it all is hard work. The harder you work, the luckier you get. I mean, when I was starting off and trying to get going, there was training here on Tuesday and Thursday or whatever that was, but I'd also run the Gales golf course and that back in the morning and all that sort of stuff. Billy McCarthy used to be out here training, doing his sprints, and I used to teach me to sprint a bit and all that stuff. That part of it never got through too good, I don't think. But and then I coached North for a couple of years, and we're, you know, I suppose you say, when you ever come back, well, it's an amazing thing, and as you're getting older and your kids are starting to grow up, and they're starting to grow into school up there, and your friends are dropping off at this end, and your kids are going to school, you know, and all of a sudden, before you know where it is, it's bloody near too late to you know, uproot everybody and come back. So we probably had our chance to do that, but we preferred to stay down there. So Sydney's been great to us too, but so is Queensland, you know. I'm still a Queenslander, of course, particularly when I win the cup. You know, I just want to congratulate you again on the job you've done. Goodna's been on us, so it's experienced a lot of times, you know. It's had a lot of struggles, and it's always got there. I mean, when I came up with the west side and saw the water parks up on the wall there, I could never believe how much the volume of water was along there. I thought, Jesus, if this doesn't wipe them out, nothing will. But here we are again. Happy 100 years, everybody. Good on you.
Thank you, Noel. Well done, Gary. Gary, would you please join Noel up here in the podium? And while Noel and Dudley are coming up to join Gary for a presentation, those of the Goodna team of the century, please stand so we can recognise you and applaud you accordingly while we're waiting on Dudley and Gary. Come on, you know who you are. The Goodna team of the century? Let's see, here we go. How many more? There's quite a few here. Come on, gentlemen, on your feet. Accept the applause. So there's Gary Richmond over there. Don, Larry, Lyle, Reed, would you come to the podium, please? Scrummaging today under Channel 9's rules is not what it was when these three gentlemen played. Now, you may remember that statistics show that Noel Kelly was one of the best hookers that league produced. But it also went down in the annals of history. Well, Noel was actually accredited with winning the ball, but it went down in the annals of history as saying Doug Beattie was the best hooker. Don, you might like to ask these gentlemen to retell that story before you make the presentation.
Noah was a pretty good hooker. He was a better hooker than Ian Walsh ever was. But I think what you're talking about is that in those days the ball only had to come back between behind the front rower's feet. And lots of times, because I'd only played front row, lots of times I was able to strike with the inside foot. With Walshy, I had to strike all the time. But the old fella here, he wasn't a bad hooker, and the other jack on the other side was a pretty good tight head prop, because he was very strong and could handle himself very well. Referee now.
Didn't have one.
That's right. Do you believe that, guys? I said what? $20 it was, believe it or not, in those days. They both paid to get in, so I said, give me the $40. And I got the $40. Isn't that one over the bank with it either? I said, no, I'll give them back. They're bigger than me. So, and I had to argue with the two of them, make them take it back. We're here to help, not to give money at little clubs like this. I think that deserves a clap for it. Just a little gift, guys. It's not much, but it's Lyle's book. Gotta get the right one.
What's the day there? That's for Gary. Gary's married to Win. We don't want to get this muddled up. This could be.
Sorry, I'll
Noel and Gary. Gary, you want to say a few words? I think you should.
It's a great pleasure to be here, and the only thing that I've ever played against Goodna and never come out in front because old Vic Smith fixed that. And run down the sideline, and next minute I was lying on my back, and then it wasn't too bad. Then the ball broke out, and the Sheila stand with stiletto heels all over me, so I crawled out the back and let the fight go on. I'm sort of proud to be associated with Noel, and I'm proud to be here tonight. So I sort of, well, I'll just finish off. I'll just tell you a little yarn. Would you like to? Yeah. This little girl was walking down the street, and she was looking around the place, and sort of, she had a mother with her, and she was looking for a pet shop, you see. So she found this pet shop down the road, and she went in. There's no Italian bloke in there, and he said, "What are you looking for, love?" She said, "A rabbit." "A rabbit?" He said, "Oh," he said, "I've got a white rabbit and a brown rabbit and a black rabbit." "Yeah?" "Oh," he said, "have a look around, I'll come back to you, darling." So after a little while he came back and he said, "Now, darling, what are you going to take? The pretty white rabbit, the pretty brown one, or the pretty black one?" And the little girl said, "I got a pet python, he don't give a fuck."
Oh, 2,750. 2,750. No further advance. Yep, we're going again. 2,800. I'll be here all right. I'm only got a voice too. 2,800, 2,800 to Mr. Atwood. 2,850 to the lady down there.
Go three.
Listen, I hate this with my
Go three, Victor. Let's go three.
2,850, 2009. 2009 to Mr. Atwood. 2,950. 2,950. We all? 3,000 to Mr. Atwood. 3,000. Are we gone? Are we finished? Are we done? 3,000 once, 3,000 twice, 3,003. 3,000 that time, Mr. Atwood.
The richest man in Ipswich.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, a round of applause. That was brilliant. For that Guernsey. Thank you, Noel. That is a great contribution to the club. Many thanks. Right, get your pennies out this time. A little bit more to go. Noel has donated 2 books to Heartman. It is brilliant reading, if you haven't got one. We'll do the auction once. And I'll tell you.
Thank you, mate. This is the second time these fellas have caught me out. Said, we're not putting any pressure on you, Bowie, and that you get a bit long in the tooth, and that, and you're well-known ear basher. And I don't deny any of that, including the ear bashing. But there's a few things that I'd like to relate to tonight, and I hope and trust that the people present here put your hand in, will you? It's always, when I talk to people, I like to tell them the truth as much as I can, and also everybody will know how passionate I am about this area and this district. It's been a wonderful place to be. You heard Noel Kelly here. And David, you weren't the only one that nursed Ned Kelly. My good wife nursed him the day he was born. I'm telling you that now, and I wasn't far behind it. I can tell him more about himself than he knows now. And he was having a little bit of difficulty and that with a couple of players. And when I said, well, go look, bugger off, I said, and we're having a barbecue. Yeah, all the players were there. I said, bugger off. I said, look, Noel's there. Noel said, go and ask him. I said, he picked to go overseas. I said, Christ, I said, if he don't know how to handle the situation, he's played more bloody football than me. Top grade. So over he goes to Noel. And I'll tell you what, big as you want, you bugger, this is the truth. You know it, and I know it. And if you're going to argue with me, there it is, the football field. We'll go out there and we'll see how both we are. Now, but what I'm going to say are the words that he said. And Billy was told him what was his problem, and that, and he said, look, what can I do about it? What can I do about Mr. Kelly? He said, hook the bastards. Hook the bastards, and that's the way it should be. So he said, I'm telling you straight now, that's the way to go. And so, needless to say, young Billy took the advice, and the first time in his life, and the only time in his life that he got bloody sent off, that was the next time he played bloody squiffs. So, no, you told a lie tonight. Early in the piece, we said we'd have a clubhouse here. It was mooted. One time we go to Red Bank or to Goodna Rugby Parade. That never eventuated. This eventuated. Now, there's that many fellas here, footballers, and people are still here. And I feel so proud tonight to be able to rub shoulders with them. As footballers, as people, volunteers, ladies, and the whole group. You are a wonderful, wonderful people.
Monday afternoon.
Wonderful people. And a lot of you are sitting here, and a lot of lovely people are gone. And I was so proud tonight when it was called to have a moment's silence for them. I was so proud, and that to think that you did think, and you're honoured. a moment's silence for the good people of Goodna and the supporters and the people that built this. People that built this. Our archway, which we're all proud of. The old boys, seen that was there. And the condition in general that the club is running out now.
Thanks, Bill.
Yeah.
Alan?
Yeah, we need a war cry.
Oh, the song?
Yeah.
Oh, I can listen to it. You thought you were going to get out of it, didn't you? Righto, we've got to have a Goodna song. Have you oiled the tonsils enough, Bill?
Tully! Where are you? Stand up!
No, probably went home, Bill.
Hello!
Righto, the Goodna song.
You right? Who's with me? 1, 2, 3. Cheers, boys, cheers, we are for Goodna. Every now and then we have a win, We will play them all around on our own already ground. If they only play a fair and honest game. 2, 3, 4. We have 6 hefty forwards and 7 crazy backs, and all the Goodna supporters to kick the bastards back when the skin and hair is fine and the slaughter has begun. 3 cheers for good old Goodna for the victories they have won. Hoo-ah, 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 we are the boys from GST. Where do we come from? Yeah! Goodna, best by far. Did we win? We did. Why? Good. Thank you all.
That's going to be the highlight of the night. I'm just going to close very shortly. The band will come back. Please carry on and enjoy. But in closing, I must pay homage once again to the committee. First of all, the chairman, Mr. John Larry, and behind every good man is a good woman, and Lee has put up with him. Thank you, John, for a job well done. To the secretary, Joy Radcliffe. Joy wears about 5 caps at this club. Joy is a little dynamo. I don't know where she gets the energy from, but Joy, thank you for your secretary work. I think at one stage Don Castle did it, I did it, and we both failed. Well, not really, but Joy's excellent. To Mark Castle, Marg's effort has been unbelievable for what Marg has done, and she's been a good member of our committee. To Don Larry, Don's always been around. He's always been here, and he's had a long time here. To Ron Hassett. Ron Hassett done some exceptionally good work, and as I said, like behind every good man is a good woman. To Roy's partner Gay, who stood over there for 2 sausage sizzles and worked her little butt off. Thank you, Gay, for your assistance and for putting up with Ron. And I don't think there's been another snag in the Hassett household since, but never mind. To the author, who we've all congratulated and spoken of, in the Lyle Reid, to Councillor Paul Tully, who probably was at 90% of our meetings and gave up of his valuable time, not only serving his constituents of the area, but he was always there, and to his good wife Lisa, who turned up on occasions of naming the field and different things. To them also, I extend a very big thank you. Norma Coomer from the juniors, who's done the tables tonight. Excellent job, Norma. To the 2 women also in my life, my wife Beverly, who was always there to do some typing and put up with me and has allowed me the last 12 or 18 months to be coming down to Goodna. I think the last 12 or 18 months I spent more time here than I did when I was growing up here. So to you lot, thank you. To our daughter Kayleen. Kayleen was the proofreader for Lyle's book, and Kayleen also gave countless times. To each and every one of you, you are all a part of Goodna. You have made this club
what it is, and I can only echo the sentiments of previous speakers. From me and the committee, the chairman, the president, we wish you a very safe journey to your respective destinations. May your comforter go with you. Good night. God bless.
I'm sure that